Welcome back. A little more than $1 billion. That is the current price for the new Vikings stadium, and taxpayers, we know, are responsible for about $500 million of that. The clear roof on the stadium will be a first for the NFL, so we decided to investigate this.
I spent the last 6 months researching, emailing, and calling around to other facilities in places like New Zealand and talking to the stadium decision makers here in Minnesota. In this story that you'll only see right here on 5, I even traveled to Germany to truly put the clear section of this roof to the test and found that my size 12 shoes aren't the only thing that could cause it problems. What exactly is this stuff? You can bounce on it like a trampoline.
I have to get a good grip, actually.
Small strips of it are really hard to pull apart.
It's very strong.
It's shaped and stretched to build amazing things like Beijing's water cube at the 2008 Olympics.
The cube where Michael Phelps broke all those world records. It is amazing.
Yet it does have a breaking point. For the answer, we traveled to northern Germany. It's here in the city of Bremen, where a company called Vector Foiltech is preparing the sheets of polymer film called ethylene tetrafluoroethylene, or ETFE. What's the lifespan on this material? How long can we expect the roof of this stadium to hold up?
Currently, we don't know the lifespan.
Vector Foiltech's founder and managing director, Stefan Lehnert, says this is the first NFL stadium for his company.
We think it's one of the most significant jobs that we've done recently.
The clear section of the stadium roof currently only exists as a computer design. Once Vector Foiltech and the Vikings stadium architects, HKS, agree on a final plan, the designs will be drawn into sheets, cut out, and then sealed together in a process that they call welding. The deflated foils will be placed on a ship and eventually end up in Minnesota. It's here that they'll be attached to the stadium structure and inflated into cushions. A far cry from the Metrodome that once stood here, but important to point out the similarities. This is an inflated roof, despite the fact it's clear. While some wanted to see a retractable roof for the new stadium, this non-movable ETFE roof was a more cost-effective compromise. Michelle Kelm-Helgen is the chair of the Minnesota Sports Facilities Authority.
This building will be the largest section of ETFE anywhere in North America. It's going to have 250,000 square feet of ETFE in that roof. Our roof will be approximately 60% of it will be the ETFE.
What is the other half of the roof made out of?
It's basically a hard steel deck, essentially.
The design benefit that the architects discuss is that inhabitants of the building, game viewers, can see this expansive view of the downtown skyline and the sky above from a lot of vantage points in the stadiums.
Blaine Brownell, a University of Minnesota associate professor of architecture, is excited about what the future holds for ETFE, even though he says there's not a great deal of research on the material.
The current estimates that I've heard are that ETFE is a 50-plus year material. The plus is a big question mark, and certainly that doesn't account for extreme climates or disasters or events that we might experience.
Disasters like the Metrodome collapse in 2010. Can you guarantee that this is going to hold up in the snow?
Yeah.
Yet Lehnert admitted in the 2008 book, ETFE Technology and Design, to snow problems that they encountered with Allianz Arena in Munich.
In Allianz Arena, the solution is to shovel off the snow. Our strategy is when you have major snow loads, you don't want to deal with shoveling snow off the roof.
So they sent people up on the roof to get the snow off, and
we don't like that.
Is there a scenario where that could happen with the Viking Stadium?
I can't imagine it.
Lehnert says that Vector Foiltech wasn't intimately involved with the design of Allianz, a mistake that they won't make again, and said that they did work with architects and structural engineers on the new Vikings Stadium. Is there a warranty on snow?
We basically over-designed the roof by far. So, and as long as we stay within these engineering limits, yes, there's a warranty on the product.
Yeah. After our interview with the head of the company, Vector Foil Tech asked me to climb up on a mock-up of the stadium roof to see its strength for myself. We put the new Vikings Stadium to the ultimate test. 6'4", 210 pounds of reporter taking approximately 92 pretty big jumps. And that's when my shoe ripped a hole in one of 3 layers.
Oder kriegen wir die Mittelfolie? Wie ist die Mittelfolie da behandelt, weißt du das?
Hier, das dürfte jetzt eigentlich nur,
Wie?
das dürfte nur zweilagig sein.
Das sind, ach so. Ich will dieses Mal eben zum Empfang gehen. Under normal circumstances, that is not going to happen.
We showed the sequence to our U of M professor for analysis.
Where I think the surprise came was in the actual tear. The material is known in the industry as being very tear resistant. And so puncture or tear is a very unfortunate surprise.
Professor Brownell pointed us to what appears to be one known weakness ETFE has: hail. Peter Fleur, a polymer consultant in Europe, has researched 2 ETFE failures due to hailstorms. In one storm, all air cushions of the roof except the front and the sides had to be replaced.
There is hail that can damage a roof, but throughout our whole career, which is about 1,000 buildings, we've had 2 cases of hail damage.
Vector Foil Tech's founder did admit when I tore a hole in it with my shoe that sharp objects like hail do pose problems for this material.
A knife and foil go together as well as a hammer and glass.
Which begs the billion-dollar question. If a hailstorm damages the roof of the new Vikings Stadium, who pays for it?
We've got, so many redundancies built into it. We've got the steel structure that's holding it up. It's a 3-panel system that is in place, and those panels can be replaced and repaired. So again, what would be termed a system failure, I think is open to question.
The Facilities Authority chair went on to say that she believes that in the case of roof failure, any damage not covered by a warranty would be picked up by insurance, but stands by the structure. Now, we've created a special section on our website that includes a demonstration of how the roof manufacturer says it can repair hail damage and extra measures put into place to reinforce the roof in a heavy snow. You can find those 2 additional stories as well as other Viking Stadium roof resources on our website at KSTP.com. Got some of this stuff for you guys to play with.
Well, it's very different
Try pulling it. Try pulling on it.
Here, you take one end.
Try pulling on it.
Well, that one looks more pliable than this one.
Well, you're asking the wrong guy for strength.
So back to the hail thing, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. The 2 instances where the roofs were damaged. One was like a baseball-sized hail, which, I mean, we know that's going to cause widespread damage no matter what.
Yeah.
The other one was more of a golf ball-sized hail, with sort of a jagged edge golf ball-sized hail.
Which does happen.
Right, and I guess we know that
frequently.
there's a likelihood that kind of hail could very easily fall in Minnesota.
Yeah.
We've had a good couple of years without it.
We've been really lucky so far, but we get many reports of ping pong size hail. We also have had many reports of the golf ball size. They're about the same size. This is baseball size. I know you know what a baseball looks like, but you see it compared to that. That is a large hailstone. We have had it in Minnesota many times. We had it as recently close to the Twin Cities as 2011. So it does happen, and again, this is even bigger than a baseball. And notice the jagged edges that Chris was talking about, which could be problematic.